All right, man. Cool. Thank you. Thank you for joining me here today, Luke.
Awesome to be here, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no worries. Do you want to just kind of introduce yourself and let everybody watching what you're all about?
Yeah, it's kind of a long story. Starts off when I was 18, just like any other millennial entrepreneurship story. My name's Luke Bockenstette. I live in Southern California. So when I was 18, graduated from high school, wanted to play baseball. My dream was to play shortstop for the Yankees, be the next Derek Jeter. That didn't turn out how I planned. I wanted to go play Division I baseball. Got a couple scholarships, didn't take them. So I decided to play baseball at Irvine Valley Junior College. It's a junior college here in Southern California. So I played for 4 or 5 months, had some injuries, and then just kind of like lost my love for the game. So I stopped playing. I got my AA from this junior college in business administration. I went to every class, kind of. I took most of my classes online, and that's where I really started learning to love working on my computer. But honestly, couldn't even remember 90% of the classes I took. I transferred from there to Cal State Fullerton's entrepreneurship program, which is a local university here. And I went there for 4 weeks, and I dropped out because I hated it. But around that time I dropped out, my family and I started this family cosmetic brand. And I kind of banked on it. But I banked on it, and I totally underestimated the amount of work it took. I mean, I had to learn how to be the graphic designer. I had to learn how to code. I had to learn how to create a Shopify store. I had to call manufacturers. I had to design logos, run Facebook ads, Google Analytics. And it's just like, I committed all this stuff, and I only had started learning about it for like, I don't know, a month and a half, 2 months. So I banked on it. It failed. I went through a period of, what the hell do I do now? Like, I dropped out of college, kind of told my friends this is what I'm doing. Didn't have any proven success, but like, it kind of felt cool to me. Like, oh yeah, I dropped out and I'm an entrepreneur. And then like, it failed, and I was like, oh, I'm actually really just a failed entrepreneur. That's all I am. That's all I got to my name. So after a couple months of just like me really just hunkering down, reading every book I could, watching everything on YouTube I could, learning about every digital marketer, entrepreneurship on social media that I could find, I decided the best path for me was actually, I need to, instead of work like for and by myself, I needed to go learn from people that are doing it. So I decided to Instagram direct message a guy named Jordan Palmer. His brother is Carson Palmer, probably going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. So Jordan played in the NFL for 8 years. And then he started doing some entrepreneurship stuff when he was a quarterback in the NFL. So then he started an agency called Common Thread Collective. So I was following Gary Vaynerchuk one time, and I realized that he posted about Jordan Palmer, and he had just given him an award at Vayner Sports. So I realized that Jordan was close. I DM'd him, and I was like, you train quarterbacks. He trained Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, some top quarterbacks in the draft this year. You are winning awards given to you by Gary Vaynerchuk. You run this agency. Like, your life is pretty cool. Can I work for free and just kind of be like Gary V's D-Rock? Can I be the D-Rock for your stuff? And after like a couple emails, a phone call, and he was like, yeah, sure. So I worked for him for a couple months, like 4 or 5 months for free. I got an internship at his agency where I learned all those things I needed to learn before I started that cosmetic brand. I learned in 12 weeks at this agency that just landed on Inc. 500 at number 345. So I learned from these professionals that just know what the hell they're doing. And then I just landed a brand manager position. I manage one of the brands that they own. So there's a bunch of really successful people. I'm the youngest one there. They're all 5, 10, 15 years older than me, and they've been doing this for years, landing on Inc.'s 500 list, networking with the Jay-Z's of e-commerce, like the LeBrons of e-commerce, like these really important people, and I've gotten a chance to introduce and meet these guys. So I'm a brand manager right now. I'm helping people on the side, doing just little entrepreneurship gigs here and there, just like every 21-year-old seems to be doing on Instagram. And that's kind of where I'm at. I mean, it was just I'm not a successful entrepreneur. I'm just a 21-year-old failed entrepreneur that's just trying to figure it out, just like a lot of these guys out here.
Yeah, but from that failure, you pushed through, and you just kind of, like you said, you hunkered down, just read and learned as much as you could.
Yeah, I mean, what's funny is that up until I was 19, the only book I probably read start to finish is Green Eggs and Ham, if I'm being honest. I hated reading. And then I read a book here, book there, and I was like, oh, there's books in here that like I don't have to give reports on, like I don't have to write 12-page papers on. Wait a minute, I could do this. And since I'm moving to a new spot, all my books are packed up, but like I have a bookshelf with 112 books on it. Like I love reading now. I'm obsessed with it.
Do you think working for free, so you did that for about 4 or 5 months, do you think that's something that a lot of people, especially younger entrepreneurs, maybe who dropped out like yourself, do you think it's something that a lot of people should do? Would you recommend it?
I'm in a really unique situation where it's like I have the best supportive parents in the world. So I was put in a position where that was okay. You know, some people are like can't, you know what I mean? Some people are like, no, every minute I have where I'm working, I've got things to pay for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had to pay for weren't overwhelming to where I could do that. And so if you can do that, like financially, I absolutely think if there are people that you want to be like, ask them what they need. Just ask them literally anything, what they need. And it seems demeaning to wake up at 6 a.m., drive half an hour, take 4 Instagram stories, hang out for an hour and a half, and drive home and only do that. Like I did for a couple, like multiple times, and then look where I am now. And then I am as happy as I've been in so long with the situation I'm in. You could be getting somebody's coffee or shining somebody's shoes and just being in those conversations of like their phone calls, even overhearing one-sided phone calls. Like some of those, like the conversations I overheard at the very beginning of working for free blew my mind. And it's just like, if you show someone that you really want to be there, they might give you menial tasks where you're like, really? Like, I didn't think it was going to be like this. And if you do those things, then it's just like, okay, do this now, do this now, do this. I'll come to this meeting. Yeah, you can sit on this call. Like, yeah, I'm actually going to lunch with this guy. You want to sit in? Just don't say anything, but sit in. And just like, I mean, I've met high people at Lululemon. I've met the creator of Hurley. I've sat in on lunches with billionaires, like people that literally have made $1 billion. And it's just like, if I didn't send that one text or that one direct message and asked to work for free, I would not be where I am today. You know, able to move out with my brother, like able to just pay for a couple extra things here and there, like, and just be money wise is cool and everything, but like I wouldn't be as happy as I am now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a certain level of pride you have to have in working up early and working for free, or just working for free in general. You know what I mean? It really, I think everybody should do it because they learn a lot, but it also like shows like, am I really in this? You know what I mean? Like, do I really want to actually do this entrepreneurship thing? Because it's not as cool as Instagram makes it look. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you don't enjoy the journey, you know, you're not going to get there. If you're just chasing dollar bills or doing it for the wrong reasons, you'll never get there.
Yeah. No, I mean the end result is something that should almost be like unattainable. You know what I mean? It's got to be that process right there is that's real life. You know what I mean? That's the day to day, and that makes up 99% of your life. So it's like, if you don't love that stuff, you're going to be chasing this thing the whole time and just be unhappy.
Yeah. How do you keep yourself motivated through all that?
I think it's everybody's just going to find their motivator, their why, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? I think that's got to be the base for just about everybody. Everybody's got to know why they're doing something. Otherwise, they're going to think that movement is progress. You know what I mean? And you can't confuse movement with progress. So it's like you could be, and I talk about baseball all the time because when it came to baseball, I had the talent. I just didn't have the skill to get to the next level. And that was because I would wake up at 4 a.m. and I would work out really hard and lift a bunch of weights. And that was a lot of movement, but it wasn't progress because I wasn't moving in the right direction. You know what I mean? I should have been doing more baseball like related stuff. You know what I mean? So I think people need to know why at the end of the day they're doing something, because at one point they're going to hit a wall that's much bigger than them. And if they don't know why they're doing something, they're going to quit.
Yeah. Is there something that is for somebody who's young, somebody who's starting out, something they can do maybe in their personal life, maybe something to do with their mindset or you know, physical health, anything that maybe worked for you as well, they can do to help push them forward more? Maybe it's, you know, you said you wake up early a lot. Maybe it's like just eat healthier or something like this. Is there something that worked for you in that sense?
What's funny for me, what works for me is people think I'm crazy. People think I'm extreme. I am the most productive, but I'm a better person when I wake up at 4 a.m. and I work out. And it's just like, I like it when it's dark. I like beating the sun up. You know what I mean? If you can get a routine, the sun is the most consistent thing like on the planet. It goes up and down every day. And if you can beat it awake every day, beat it up. I mean, I think you're in a good route, because everybody has those 24 hours in a day, but a lot of people only have, you know, I mean, 12 or 15 because they sleep so much or whatnot. You know what I mean? If you can get those extra 3 hours and get a lot more stuff done. I mean, think about every single day. It's 3 more hours every day. You do the math on that. There's got a lot of time to get more stuff done. To me, it's just like, maybe it's unhealthy in a way of not getting a lot of sleep, but I would rather sacrifice that for me living in my 30s and 40s and 50s. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think a little bit of like your diet comes into play a little bit. You eat pretty healthy?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're only sleeping like 4 hours a night, make sure you're eating your veggies.
Eat your veggies, drink a lot of water, and then the unhealthy side effect of all this is my caffeine like intake is probably too high.
I like coffee too. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
So when your family started it was a cosmetic business, right? What you said you guys failed. What was something you learned from that? Was there a specific struggle you had? Maybe it was just juggling too many jobs.
Yeah, it was juggling too many jobs because it's like my parents already. It started as a side thing, so they relied on me to get it to a point to where it could become the main thing. You know what I mean? Because I mean, until it like quote unquote blew up, they needed to continue to make money and provide for the family right now. You know what I mean? So it kind of fell on me to do way too much stuff. I really learned all the things that when you do it by yourself, you get overwhelmed to think are really hard, actually not that hard. And all the things that like you thought were easy and you didn't put a lot of time in, you should have put a lot more time on. But also it's just, I am a huge believer in that the more work you can do, I get working smarter versus working harder. I just think you should just do both. And I think if you can work a lot, you can get a lot more done. I think people should realize that like if you really want something, it takes a lot more work than you think it does. Because it's just like, I love all these kids that are making 20, 30, 40, 50K drop shipping stuff. And that's awesome. It's inspiring. It's so cool to see people doing that. At one point, a lot of that's just going to die out if you are doing it all by yourself. And then your habits are just going to become, I just launched a bunch of 50K stores. And you're going to have rely on coming on new ideas and just different things like that. So it's just like, if you want to create that one thing that like grows, it takes a lot more work than you think. And that's where I totally underestimated that. And I should have thought that through a lot more before maybe even before I pulled the trigger on college. Like,
yeah, it's a big time commitment. So time management is definitely something that you came out of it with.
Yes, very much so. And like, I would be overwhelmed because I'd wake up at 4 and go work out. And like, I'd be working 16-hour days, like literally 16-hour days here, like unhealthy amounts of work, and just feeling like I couldn't get it all done because it was all on me. You know what I mean? So, and that's the also, if you want to grow something that big, don't be afraid to ask for help. You know what I mean? That's another thing. It's I should have just asked for more help.
Yeah. Do you think finding a mentor would have been beneficial?
Yes. Had I met Jordan Palmer 6 months earlier, it probably would have saved me a lot of time.
Yeah. I think having a mentor is perfectly logistical. I mean, you have somebody that you can ask specific questions about, somebody you can rely on. And obviously if they accepted it, they believe in you and stuff and can tell you're passionate about it.
Yeah, a mentor and just a group of friends where it's just like, I hate being like, I don't want to say the smartest person in the room, but like everybody is the smartest person in the room in certain things. Like, and if you have a group of 5 people, each person knows more than anybody else about certain topics, you know what I mean? But say if it's entrepreneurship and like, say it's Shopify, in my group of like really close friends, I know the most about Shopify, you know what I mean? But like they know the most about a lot of other things, like environmental sciences, like one of my buddies, about sports, another one of my buddies. So it's just like, if that's what I want to do, especially if that's what I want to do to bring money into my life, like to income to provide for myself and my family, I needed to surround myself with more like-minded people that were above me. And I didn't do that. I relied on me just learning everything by myself on my computer, which is super beneficial, but like in-person interaction with people that have the same direct interest with you, or at least are above you and have the same direct interest with you, I think it's wildly important.
Yeah, it's so cliche and everybody says it, like surround yourself with like-minded individuals or people you aspire to be, but holy shit, it's actually true and it is so important.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the move right there. I mean, that's like, it's so funny because it's like, things are so cliche, but it's because they've been around for a while because they work. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you are who you surround yourself with. Like, you're the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself with. And it's just like, the level of my life in the last 6 months has just skyrocketed compared to me just hanging out with like my friends and family. And it's not like I was bad or poor, like quality of life or anything, but it's just like mentally and physically and spiritually, and just like who I wanted to be and who I wanted to be like, just rose once I surrounded myself with those people.
If you had a room of young entrepreneurs, maybe people a little bit younger than you, and you could teach them one thing about, just starting out or something to motivate them, what would a topic be? What would be something that you would talk to them about?
What's really cool is that in my time at Common Thread Collective, they judge people on two things, and it's their effort and their interest. So it's just like, are you really interested in this, or are you just here for a paycheck? You know what I mean? Are you getting the job done, or are you like, you have the interest to get the job done extremely well? You know what I mean? Go a little bit beyond. So it's just like, if you really want to do this, your effort and interest have to be there. Also, one of those things where you have to be willing to sacrifice petty things that aren't going to, you have to be willing to look farther than a week, a month, or a year ahead in your life, and where do you want to be when you're 28, 29, 30. You know what I mean? Even if it's like waking up an hour earlier, yeah, you're going to be tired for the first 2, 3, 4 weeks of that routine. But all those hours, if you do it consistently every single day, are hours and hours more of work that you can get done to get like to really like accomplish the goal that you want to accomplish. So I think it's just people have to look beyond what's comfortable right now and into sacrificing things to actually accomplish the goal that they want to accomplish years down the line.
I like that. I like that a lot. Get everybody, motivated in that sense, and what they actually want to do. Where do you actually want to go? Is that something you still look at today, like 5 years down the line, long-term goals?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm a big goal setter and dream setter. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I've got things I want to accomplish at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, end of the year. By the time I'm 25, by the time I'm 30, by the time I'm 50. I mean, I already have thoughts in my head of just what do I want to do for my son's 12th birthday. Now I'm 21 and I'm nowhere near having kids. You know what I mean? But I like to think that long term, because it's like, I truly believe that the habits I have in my life right now are going to affect those decisions and those choices 10, 20, 30, 40 years down the line.
Yeah. Nice. Is there any, you said you read a lot of books. Is there one book that you would recommend?
Well, besides Green Eggs and Ham, for sure. Yes, my favorite book, it's the only book I've ever read twice, like within the same 6 months, is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. One of my, I think every single person on the planet should read that book and then read it again.
Yeah. Do you want to give the TLDR to somebody what it's about?
The TLDR?
Too long didn't read.
I've never heard that.
It's a Reddit thing.
The people on Reddit are intimidating. Reddit is an intimidating community.
It is.
Yeah, it's really along the lines of a lot of things that I've spoken about. Of, if you know where you want to go, and then what people say and think about you ultimately shouldn't matter. And that is such a hard thing to get over for everybody. You know what I mean? Literally every single person in the world has to get over that leap. And it's just like, there's different increments in that one leap, but that book has really helped me just get to the point of, quote unquote, not giving a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, it's ultimately what it is. It's really just freeing mentally. It is once you read it and like actually understand even just one out of the multiple concepts in there, it is freeing and incredible, the amount of happiness that it could bring you.
No, I have that book and I haven't read it yet, and I'm kicking myself for it. So you've definitely just piqued my interest a little bit more. I'm gonna try to make some more time.
Are you a reader?
I am, yeah.
Oh man, I almost want to say we can redo this whole thing and say I want you to read it first.
Sure, we'll do that for the next one.
Love it.
Cool. Sweet, man. Well, I think that's a kind of a good place to cap this thing off. Is there one last tip of advice or trick to anybody starting their entrepreneurial journey that you would want to say? Maybe something you wish you knew?
Yes, it's a couple different quotes, but put into one, and it's just something that I had always believed in. But then I finally heard this quote like maybe 3 months ago that it all clicked, and like that's how I knew I wanted to say it to people. This idea that I always had for the last 3 or 4 years from some video I watched years ago on YouTube was like, the habits are the building blocks of your life. I always believed that. So I always believed I was building good habits, but like the habits would be on the major aspects of my life. The major aspects of your life are the top 5%. It's the 95% below that are small, minor decisions, or it's the hitting snooze that twice when you should be hitting it all, or at least taking snooze down from 2 to 1 for the first habit. It's like, if you can do that, you know what I mean? It's a good thing. It's a thing. I don't know if you've ever heard of Bedros Koulian. He's an entrepreneur I'm looking at on social media a lot lately. How you do anything is how you do everything. And it's like, if you really sit there, it's just like, it's the simple things of, if you are the low employee at a building and there is a paper towel on the floor and somebody missed a trash can, you need to pick that up even if no one's around. You know what I mean? Because if you pick it up every time, somebody's going to see it, even if it's 15 times down the line. And then that is going to impact them, and they're going to start picking that trash up. And the office is going to get cleaner, and then people are going to be more efficient. You guys are going to start making more money. It's like those things, those small things are the big things. If like over the entirety of a process, how you do anything is how you do everything is something that like I always believed in, but like I didn't know how to actually put it in words. And like, I heard that and I was like, that's it. That's the one I needed right there.
I love that. How you do anything is how you do everything. Sweet. Well, Luke, thank you so much for doing this today. I'll put a link to like your Instagram profile and stuff below. But is any last shout outs you want to do?
Shout out to Jordan Palmer for helping me get to where I am today.
Love it. Awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.